Do lake monsters exist? Welcome in, everyone. I am doing a reading on paranormal activity as well as, I think it's called cryptic zoology. And it's studying creatures, especially concerning lakes, deep river streams, the lake monsters of the day. Do they exist? I have several stories of you. I've been researching Ogopogo of the British Columbia Lake, Occoquan Lake in British Columbia. I've been researching, what was the last one? Champ from Lake Champlain. So I am excited to do that. And of course, we have good old Nessie from the Loch Ness monster in Scotland. So we're going to be taking a look at some of these lake monsters just briefly. Again, I am not a huge researcher. I just look at different articles and I watch some documentaries, and then I formulated some questions for the tarot cards where we can actually take a look and see, are there dinosaur-like, dragon-like creatures? And did you know that there's a legend that there's a spirit of the lake that these creatures are connected to? So let's take a look. First of all, I want to show you Champ from Lake Champlain. Let me share my screen. So here is a map from the World Atlas, and this is the 10 largest lakes in the world. And if you can see, I know it's really tiny here, but you see the 0, 0, 4, 0, 5, and then there's a 10 and an 8. These are the largest lakes in the world. And the ones on the left of the screen are in Canada and the United States, and the ones on the right are in Europe and some in Africa and one in Asia. These are the 10 largest lakes in the world that are deep underground lakes. Many people even believe that the Great Lakes here on the left of the screen in the United States, connected to Canada, are also interconnected with large underground waterway tunnels, which is why they are so deep. So it has been alleged that these lakes are actually possibly, allegedly interconnected at this latitude and longitude around the world. And there could be a specific kind of latitude that harbors certain creatures. Because in all these lakes, if you see 0.02 to 0.01 to 02, right there when you go across, if you drew a line between them, one in Europe and one in the Great Lakes in the US, Canada region, if you drew a line right there in the middle would be Scotland, which is where the Loch Ness monster allegedly lives. So this is a region of deep lakes that surround the world, and there are many, many sightings. So let's go now to Champ. Okay, share this. Now, the Lake Champlain monster, there is no exact picture, but I did watch a documentary today. I found it on Amazon Prime, and it looked something similar to this. And let's see if I can pull up the picture. Meet Champ. This is Vermont's lake monster. Lake Champlain near Burlington, Vermont, and also near New York. And I saw a photo that was alleged to be not doctored, very, very real, taken by a mother with her children sitting on the shore of this lake. Oops. Wind socks for life. It's a mythical pigment Bigfoot sighting. Oh, no, excuse me, not Bigfoot sighting. It's a pigment. No. This is, okay, that's other sightings in Vermont is Bigfoot and the mythical pigment along with Lake Champlain. Wow. So again, this goes back to my theory that there's a certain type of energy or atmosphere along these lines of latitude where interdimensional, paranormal, or cryptic animals might live. They even call it a multitude of haunted places. And this is also where the Lake Champlain monster Champ lives. And it actually did. In the photo, it really looked like this exactly. Champ is a monster that has a large head that comes out of the water. He will sit in the lake with big humps, just the big humps. People describe them as huge tires, huge tires that just sat in the lake as if they were logs, and then they would just submerge and disappear. And then several people have also seen different creatures moving in the water. And there was a tremendous photo. I tried to take a screenshot, but Amazon wouldn't let me take a screenshot, but it looked a lot like that image. So this is one alleged lake monster. The next one is good old Nessie. So let me share this. All right, Nessie is from the lake Loch Ness, and she looks like this. She is known as having one hump, but having a long neck and a lot like a dinosaur head. So the ones in the US seem to have more of a pointy head or have horns on their head, as you will see, but they all have a neck that comes up and at least one hump. The ones in the US and Canada seem to have several humps and be more like a snake-like creature. The one that I watched a documentary of is Ogopogo in Okanagan Lake, right near British Columbia. There's actually no real image of Ogopogo. It is said to inhabit this lake. Many people have actually seen several, or a flock, or could you say a group of these creatures. Now, I did see a photo in the documentary, and this one did have horns. It is known as being a very benevolent creature. So the thing that I want to bring out here was the story shared about a spiritual woman who lived on the lake, and she says that Ogopogo, or the lake monster, has a Nehakia, is really like its real name. This creature was interdimensional, she proposed. She actually believed it. She believed that this creature was interdimensional and was an incarnation of the spirit of the lake, and that it showed itself to people who were worthy. And it's very interesting because her beliefs blended modern day beliefs and the ancient esoteric beliefs. So modern day beliefs says they are sea creatures that survived the extinction of dinosaurs. They're living in the water. The modern day belief is that underneath the Great Lakes are waterway tunnels that would represent some of the deep, deep oxygen-rich atmosphere that water creatures can inhabit, but the dinosaurs on land did not have enough oxygen, so they died off. So that's the normal theory, and part of it really resonates with me, that there is deep underground water tunnels, and some of these creatures might go from lake to lake, and that's why you see them at different times, or why they disappear for a year or two and you don't see them until 5 years later they reappear. What if they are living in oxygen-rich underground tunnels, or they're going from lake to lake? So that's a speculation there, but many people who see these sightings do believe that there are water creatures of about 40 to 60 feet long that do exist. They see humps, they see heads, they see portions of this body, and they believe that there is a physical reality of a sea creature. So we're going to pull cards on this. There's also the esoteric view. The esoteric view on the exact opposite spectrum is that these creatures used to live on Earth when Earth was a lot less dense. We were more spiritual. We were more airy. Our atmosphere was full of oxygen. We had less of that dense, heavy, toxic air that we have now. And it was able for large creatures with small lungs, small brains, small hearts. They could exist for much longer, and they could grow for much bigger. The esoteric world teaches that every animal on Earth is an emanation from some cosmic higher being. The cosmic higher being is connected to Earth, supervises Earth. It could be called a spirit of nature, a spirit of the water, spirit of the wind, the sun spirit. We know them today as different angelic beings, ascended master beings. The spirit of the sun, for example, is the Christ energy that I talk about. There's the Christ energy that was embodied in Jesus, and they call him Jesus Christ. And many people worship the same energy from the past through the sun. So there's many of different traditions, but they're all describing divine life source energy. This life source energy actually had the ability to incarnate as humans and had the ability to incarnate as animals as well. And different kinds of animals can come from different cosmic beings. Again, this is the esoteric history. So bear with me. We'll get into the cards here in a moment. But the esoteric history says that there are some times when creatures can formulate on Earth under the power of that spirit, and then it can disappear again. So it's like the revelation of an angel. When the angel appeared to Mary and said, "You will have a baby and his name will be Jesus," Christmas season's coming up, that kind of ability for Archangel Gabriel to emanate into a visible form for Mary was a supernatural phenomenon, a paranormal activity. It's the same kind of activity when you have your aunt who passed away in the house and she rattles things, or a picture falls when she's angry because you moved the dining room table. They have the ability to alternate and to change things in this 3D realm. Okay, so the esoteric world believed that animals emanated from cosmic beings as a part of their creative process. So that being said, I want to share with you what the lady said who lives on the lake of Okanagan. Let me cancel this picture right here, okay? And Ogopogo is the name of the one. It's a lake monster said to inhabit Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada. And it's one of 5 interconnected freshwater lakes in the British Columbia area. And it stretches for 127 kilometers and has a depth of 232 meters, which is 762 feet. Okay, the lake monster has been described as being a serpentine creature with smooth, dark skin, with a large body thicker than a telephone pole, and being up to 15 meters or 49 feet in length. The monster is said to move at incredible speeds, coiling its body in vertical undulations and propelling itself with a powerful tail. Many have compared the creature to the cryptid Cadborosaurus or the extinct Basilosaurus. All right. So as I go back here, I want to share with you all that the story and the legend of that lake is that the creature is an emanation of the spirit of the lake. So do you remember the story of the Lady of the Lake with King Arthur and how she gave him Excalibur, the sword? The Lady of the Lake had consciousness. She was a spirit of the lake, and she basically knighted King Arthur and gave him, I believe it was King Arthur, could have been another knight, but basically gave him power and a sword that also had consciousness. This is according to the legend. Well, this lady had a very similar story. She said that the spirit of the lake interdimensionally shapeshifts, was her word, interdimensionally shapeshifts into the spirit of Ogopogo. And he appears, or she appears, as an actual lake monster and will appear. Now, one of the stories that happened is a lady they were going out on the Lake Okanagan, and she had just lost her mother. She goes and she sits in her boat, and her husband's getting ready and her friend's there, and she says, "Universe, I'm having a really bad day. I need something to help me forget about my mother." It wasn't her aunt, her was her mother. "I need to forget about my mother. I need to have a distraction." She said that as an exact prayer. "Universe, I need a distraction." So they get out on the boat and they're doing their thing. The lake is very still. It's in October, so it's cold. Not many people are on the lake. And all of a sudden, she turns and she's like, "What is that?" And she says, 3 feet wide. There was something 3 feet wide sitting just at the top of the water, okay? And it went down as if it was a body of some sort, or a large 2 to 3 foot log. And they thought it was a log, but it was vertical. And I kid you not, it had these little horns, and it was partly submerged. And I kid you not, it looked like a massive horse or a wolf. And she snapped a photo of it. And it was proven to be an actual legit photo, according to the documentary. And she asked the universe, that's what got me. because as a paranormal person and as a spiritual person, I know that when you put a word out to the universe, you are heard. The spirit hears you. Life, consciousness hears you. And she actually saw this half-submerged creature. She says it didn't look like wood. It looked like skin. It looked like skin. It's not leather, but like a tough skin. And then they turned around and went back. They snapped a picture, and then it just disappeared. It just submerged. They never saw it again. So if it was a log, it would have come up again. If it was another animal, maybe it would have, if it was an otter or a crayfish, maybe it was, would have swam off in a different fashion, but it just submerged. But the fact that she actually called out to the universe and said, universe, I need a distraction, and that thing appeared, that tells me there's something going on. Now, the other thing that the lady said is that it has the ability to shapeshift, as well as she believed sometimes it lived like Bigfoot in different parts of underground. Well, not Bigfoot in the sense of he lived underwater, but sometimes Bigfoot actually lived in like caves or in the earth. And this lake monster also lived in caves in the earth away from people. But then it had the ability to shapeshift. She goes out there and she says, whenever you go to the lake or to the woodland, always introduce yourself. And she took the expedition out, and she does it in their native language. And she basically said, this is Ruth, this is Mike, this is Adam, this is Bob. We are here, we come in peace. And she spread tobacco or sage. She says, you can do either. You can do sage or tobacco. She says that it's not that the creature actually responds just to that. She says it's respecting the spirit of the lake and the spirit of the land. She says because a land can actually feel you and connect to you or reject you. She says the land and the water do have energy, and they do have a level of consciousness. And she basically did a ritual. Now, nothing came up. It was the middle of a sunny day. There was nothing there, but it was beautiful to see somebody interact with a creature that she believed had an ultra dimensional way of being. Excuse me. So now it's interesting that this must be blocked. Let me put this up and mute for a minute. There we go. Okay, so there must be a beautiful interdimensional way of being where we talk about the lake and the spirit of the lake, and that has been blocked by humanity. Okay, can you hear me? That must be an interesting block there, because when I started speaking about the energy of the lake and the water, I actually choked up. So there must be a block being put on us understanding from a human dimension that there is spirit to the land, to the water, to the sky, to the earth. So let's continue and let's pull cards. All right, the first question that I want to do is on just the aspect of sea monsters. Do sea monsters exist, or water dragons? And let's ask specifically about lake monsters, lake creatures. Dragons, dinosaurs, or lake creatures. Is there any such thing as a lake creature? Let's take a look, Spirit. Okay. Wow, we have two yes cards. We have the card of the Ace of Pentacles and the cards of Page of Wands. And this tells me energy and physicality. Energy here, source power, and then physicality. We have here portals and interdimensional kind of creatures that have a blueprint made from a higher consciousness. And then we also have the research being done about them. So there's a lot more research that's going to be happening concerning creatures of this propriety. And also because the digital age is upon us, so we are able to take photos. When before, I do believe that there was a block on humanity. They did a survey of 1,000 people in British Columbia that lived along the lake, the locals, and they asked 1,000 people, if you saw something in the lake, would you report it? If you saw something strange, would you report it to the local radio station, to the police, whatever? Would you report it? 8% said they would. Only 8%. So if 8%, and then they looked at all the sightings that had been cited, and they said if this represents only 8% of the locals, there's a lot of sightings. And I saw a video of they actually someone was taking a video of some humps moving in the water, just like it looked like massive fish. A boat comes along with a water skier, and this water skier, it goes and the boat takes a turn. Okay, you know how they turn in the water, and the water skier sees the humps and is so shocked, loses balance and falls into the water, and immediately starts swimming away as fast as he can go for his life. And these bumps that are just going like this in the water, they're just like huge ripples, and there was a group of them. They're moving. They don't even turn. They don't look at him. They don't harass him. They just keep going. And the water skier swims away. And everybody was looking to see for a report from this boat, this water skier, for anything saying I was in the water and I saw these crazy things and I fell off, and nobody came forward. So there was a boat with people in it and a water skier that saw something that shocked them both. And no one reported it. So there's going to be a lot more research being done in this. Now, I did notice in the US side of things, people were a lot more willing to talk about it. But definitely in this little village of British Columbia, they were not willing to share what they saw because there's a stigma upon us to say, if you dare to see something different, you're not going to be accepted by your quote unquote tribe. So if you're not accepted by your tribe, you don't say you saw something strange. Don't say you saw a 7-foot fish. That doesn't exist, and you're ostracized. You're scolded. You're looked down upon. You're like, who do you think you are to do something outside the norm of the tribe? But now we are starting to be more independent, more sovereign citizens, more daring to explore supernatural things. There's documentaries out everywhere, people researching. And then this card comes up, okay? More research is coming, and then the justice card. And this tells me that there's some sort of protection, legal kind of protection that's going to arise, and possibly even a way for people to report sightings that's going to be a little bit more fair, a little bit more honest, and a little bit more freeing, right? Yeah, people are not going to feel so blocked and scared to share what they see. So there is a dimensional aspect, a third dimensional, a physical aspect to these creatures, and they are indeed alive. So I can confirm that. Now I want to ask the next question is, are they purely physical, or do they have a paranormal or interdimensional shape-shifting dynamic? Are they purely physical, or are they paranormal? We got the Moon card. We have the 8 of Swords. We have the 8 of Wands, the Fool card, and the Ace of Swords. So I'm not getting in this card deck right now that there is a whole lot of physicality to these lake monsters. What I am getting is that there is and I'm not getting a whole lot of water. So I was thinking that they would just live deep underground in the earth, but I'm getting the Fool card. And the Fool card is telling me a new kind of reality, a different kind of reality. They're the card of the moon realm and psychological, mystical, an ultra spiritual realm. So I'm not getting so much that they are just purely physical. They do have consciousness that goes into another reality as well. Very interesting here. Let me just get clarity from another deck. I'm getting there more from the realm, like the realm of the moon, or like moon creatures, or mysterious creatures. Like that's their role on Earth, is to be a mystery. Like that's literally what they're here for, is to be a mystery that this dense world cannot handle. So bear with me here, okay? And only take what resonates. Are these creatures paranormal, shape-shifting, or are they purely physical? I'm going to get another card spread with a different deck. We have the Eight of Cups. We have working. There is some physicality there. We have an independent kind of physicality, okay, in the past. We have a family or creatures of a family. And then we have balance coming to them. So I believe, according to these cards, of they could not exist on this earth plane for a long, long time. But they had to leave as creatures. They had to leave, and very few of them could keep existing. What I'm getting from this is that, almost like the dolphins, they have a little bit of a soul family in the higher realms as a soul, and they really stopped incarnating in this. Not the dolphins, but the dinosaurs, or the lake monsters. They stopped incarnating because it just was too tight, too intense. They could not. They kept either getting killed or they could not breathe, and so they actually stopped coming in. They went extinct for a while. What I have here is balance is coming to the earth realm. And so their soul, their family, or their higher consciousness that has been guiding them, creating them, putting them out into the world, has now decided it's safe for the lake monsters to come back. That was really, really weird. So take what resonates with you all. Yeah, and put in the comments what you think. If you do not agree with this, that is perfectly fine. I do want to ask, though, is there a massive underwater cavern system that is harboring these animals because it's easier for them to live there? Now, I do want to clarify. I do believe, according to the cards, that they do have a physical aspect. They just weren't growing. They weren't producing family. They weren't having babies. They were kind of existing in another realm because it was hard to incarnate on this earth. But it's getting safer and safer for them to come in. Is there an underwater cavern system in which the monsters, the lake creatures, live? So the cards that fell out is traveling, okay? Traveling, and then the Queen of Swords here. Six of Swords and Queen of Swords. And this is the card pull. They choose... Oh my goodness, this is definitely giving me shape-shifting vibes here. Okay, they choose, and then the Sun card. So they have a choice to go back to their source and to come back. So this would tell me a slight shape-shifting reality. We have the Justice card coming up again, meaning that they might have contracted as soul animals to not be part of this earth for a while. But so this is still the energy of the lake creatures. Tell me about the lakes themselves. Do they harbor underground water systems? Okay, I'm getting a no. I'm getting they do have an underground system, but it is not their primary means of escape or getting away from. They don't necessarily travel from place to place, and that's why, or go from lake to lake. I do believe that there are underground systems, but they're not necessarily going from lake to lake. They have a habitat where they live. They do, however, what happens is if they disappear, could be a shape-shifting type of disappearance. One more question. Are they, oh no, two, are they connected to the spirit of the lake? So is there a higher consciousness in the waters that they possibly might connect to? Like, is that their source? The spirit of the lake, is that the source from where they come? Okay, I do have the magician card here. Okay, so that would be their creator, but I do have that there's some conflict here, energetic conflict, and they can't always choose to go in and out as fast as they maybe would like. There is dimensional issues, dimensional shape-shifting issues where they don't just merge with the lake and come back, is what I'm getting. Yeah, if they leave, it's another realm, it's another consciousness, but the lake it does contain the source of who they are. It does have manifestation and magical powers, and is like the medium. The lake is the medium for their incarnations in these lakes. Does that make sense? So their source is somewhere else, but the lake is like a medium. So they come through the energy of the lake, and they're connected to the lake, but it's not their exact source because the lake is dimensional as well. It's 3-dimensional. Water is energy, 100%. Buffalo fish in Arizona are known to live over 100 years, so ancient creatures could exist. Wow, I did not know that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ruth. Thank you so much. I just want to take a moment here and say I received so many birthday gifts, so many birthday surprises, so much joy and happiness that I cannot express just how abundant and loved I feel from you all. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't do it justice. Yes, so the lakes are the medium through their incarnation. Just like a woman is the medium that we incarnate through a woman's energy field. The lake is the incarnation energy field for these monsters, and that actually goes back to Genesis, the book of Genesis, when God, quote unquote, God created the heaven and the earth. He says, and God created the bodies of water, and in the bodies of water he created fish. So right there is the medium. And I always used to wonder, God created the land, and out of the dry land, he made man and the animals. So the earth, DNA, is our medium for us incarnating. But when he talked about the water, he says, and God created the bodies of water, and out of the bodies of water was created the fish. And so it's using the water as the medium that was the source through which they live. So I thought that was very interesting. Are lake monsters benevolent? Or are they malevolent? Are lake monsters benevolent or are they malevolent? And if you did not get to the beginning and watch the story of Ogopogo or Champ from Lake Champlain, go ahead and start over again because it's pretty amazing. Watch some documentaries. You can find them on Amazon Prime if you desire. Are lake creatures of massive proportion, are they benevolent or normal creatures or malevolent? What is their overall energy as it relates to humanity? Okay, we have a yes card and then a human card, the Emperor. We have balance coming in. We have another yes card, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Okay, positive energy, also new energy. They're not the same creatures in incarnation now and I don't mean this, they're not the same kind of energy that they have. The energy that they have now is not the same kind of energy they might have had during the Dark Ages, is what I'm saying. We have transformation, okay? Death card, the transformation card. So they went through a massive transformation, but I believe on a spiritual level. The cards that fell out was the Knight of Wands, spiritual, timeline shifting, which would be a shape-shifting reality, and higher consciousness, the Hermit card. The Chariot, the Hermit, and the Knight of Wands. And 5, the 5 of Swords is does have the potential to cause confusion and some fear. And also questioning, just like, wait, is this true? Is this not true? What do we believe? This isn't necessarily energetic, so they don't have like evil intentions of I want to hurt you, but they are perfectly okay with not letting everyone know who they are. They're not here on earth to reveal themselves. They're not here to care. They don't care whether we know that they exist or not. But they do have a type of higher consciousness that has been ascending. So all those dragons of old, all those, legends of being chased by a dragon or being chased by a monster, that was a different kind of energy, consciousness, incarnation from these creatures. And there's a little bit more of a ascended energy to them. Yeah, I am not getting any harm, except that they're not going to bend over backwards to necessarily be good to you. They're just going to do their thing, let you think what you want to think, and go their way. They do not need to be known. They do not need to be believed. They are here to literally enjoy the spirit of the waters. Jeez. Wow. Okay. This is fascinating. I appreciate every single one of you here today. To recap, the lake monsters are physical, but they do have a spiritual kind of essence, a lot like the dolphin. They have a soul family. They have beings that exist outside this realm that they can incarnate. They recently actually started incarnating more, and they do have more of an ascended nature. They are not out to harm, but they're also not out to prove themselves. Wow. Okay. Interesting. And if you called upon their spirit or the universe, they might show their face to someone who is worthy or who needs a little bit extra support. All right. Well, that's what I have for today. Thank you for joining me. I would like to bring up a special offer that I have for the month of December. It's a Christmas offer. I put my online course 3 months into videos and journaling prompts where you can manifest your destiny. Let me go ahead and share. Okay, that's Loch Ness Monster. Let me share this tab instead. So I put this course, the Life Purpose Coaching and Mentorship, into an online course. And this does not come with my clairvoyant coaching, but you can add it in there if you want. If you're interested, you can purchase just the recorded videos and just the course. And I am offering it. It's normally a $600 3-month program, just the course. But I am looking for two people who qualify and would be willing to give me feedback and testimonials to do this course for $150. Spirit laid it upon my heart, like just offer it to some people who maybe cannot afford the $600 right now, but would be willing to work with me if they do email connection, and they can book personal readings with me if they wish. But you go through a 3-month program, 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, doing a short 10-minute meditation and 2 or 3 questions in a journal prompt. It guides you into actually, number 1, clearing limiting beliefs and blockages using light language and the violet flame that I work with. I do pre-recorded videos. You clear blockages. Number 2, it helps you clarify what your purpose is and what your heart is calling you to. And number 3, I think I said that. Number 3, I teach you some 10-minute meditations to quantum leap to your future and how to hear and talk to the universe to get you into your life path. So if you're interested, message me, email me. Let me put my email up there, and we will do a short 15-minute call. And this 15-minute call will just make sure that you're good to go. I'll do a clairvoyant reading for you, and we'll see if this course is a good fit for you. It is something I am offering in the Christmas season, and it does come with some very special perks as well. So if you're interested, email me or book a call. You can get the free discovery call in the comments below, in the description box below. Now I want to go out with a bang. I recorded and edited. If you haven't seen it already, then you get a treat. But I did edit the cleaning without chemicals video, and I popped it onto my YouTube channel. If you have seen it, that's great. If you have seen it and you wish to sign off, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And if you wish to support this channel, I would be very grateful as well. You can do it through purchasing my online course, booking a clairvoyant reading, buying some NORWEX products, the video I'm going to show you here, or sending me a little gift using the PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App in the description box below. I appreciate you all, and I'm looking forward to this Christmas season with you. I think it's going to be a good shift into a new year. So here's the video. Let me share it with you now. Follow me now as I go throughout my beautiful time. Okay. Can you hear it? I don't think you can. Follow me now as I go throughout my beautiful tiny house. I have here my kitchen tabletop, all right? And I am here at my kitchen. I have my Enviro cloth here, all right? The Enviro cloth would, if I unraveled this, it would stretch out from Canada down to the Gulf of Mexico. That's how much it is. That's how tightly it is wound. It is a microfiber and it is put into a star shaped. The microfiber right now, the e-cloth on Amazon, is a point, okay? This was the only one created by this Norwegian company, and it is a star shaped. It also has silver interlaced in its thread and fiber, which self-cleans it. So how you use this is you just make it damp or wet. It can be at your level of wetness. You fold it up, because what happens is it grabs as you rub it, it grabs the bacteria, the germs, everything, all right? And then it holds it there. And then what you do is you take it and you put it under hot water, and I'll show you the process. You squeeze it out and you hang it to dry. That is how you use an e-cloth. Now, I want to show you what it really does. Let me get my raw chicken. Okay, I got some raw chicken because I'm going to be doing this demo multiple times. And I will be doing it here with this raw chicken. And I'm going to be taking the raw chicken and putting it on my stovetop. I have here this Pro Clean Hygiena. This is what they use by the food and health industries. And if it's green, it is safe. If it is gray, not too safe. If it is pink, definitely not safe. And if it's purple, it is toxic. It is bad for you. Okay, it'll make you sick. All right. So I've actually never used these. So you're going to see me use them for the first time. We're going to put chicken and test it, and then we're going to wipe it and test it with the second one. All right. So let's go. All right. So here's my countertop. All right. Here's my test strips, and this is my chicken. So we're just going to take the chicken and we're going to just smear it here on my, okay, can you see it making? All right, I want you to see that it's actually there on the stove top. All right, and I'm just smearing it on there as if I was cooking a chicken casserole. All right, okay, so I'm going to take it here, put it back in, and put it in my sink. I'm going to take this one right here, and I'm just going to put that right into the chicken. Okay, let's just gather as much as we can. All right, that should be good. All right, then I put it back into here, and then I squeeze this top. I think that's how it works. I saw her squeeze it in, but I guess I should read the instructions, right? But she didn't give me instructions, so let me see. Bear with me. Hang on, let me Google it. How to use Pro Clean test strips. Ensure the swab tip is pre-moistened, which it was. Allow the device to equilibrate. Place the swab back in the tube. Activate the device by breaking the snap valve with your thumb and forefinger, then squeezing the tube. Oh, there we go. Can you see that? and then squeezing the bulb twice to expel the liquid down the shaft. Okay, there we go. Down the shaft. So it should say, right, with this chicken, it should say that it's a bad liquid here. But it's coming up green, so it's obviously a poor test tube, right? Oh no, there we go. Okay, thank you. All right, so yeah, there we go. And then it says, wait, bathe the tip in liquid and shake for 10 seconds. There we go. That's what I was missing. All right. All right. I still don't think it's working right. A green color says pass. A gray indicates caution. It's a small residue, and the purple indicates a fail. All right, so I don't think I had enough chicken. So let me, well, actually, no. If you can see it, look at that. It's purple. Can you see it there? Okay. All right, so you can see it there that it is purple. It's kind of like a purple, but I did not have as much chicken as I wanted to, but I also, okay, so it's like a pink or a purple. It says wait 10 minutes, but there's the purple. Okay, so what you do now is you take the EnviroCloth, just like this, and I'm going to show it to you here with the chicken, and I am going to just wipe it like this. Wipe it, wipe it, wipe it, wipe it, okay? And if you could see it, it does look quite clean, but I am not satisfied, so I've never done this test myself. All right, so let's take this next one, all right, clean. And let me just really see if I can get some test strip, like give me some. Like if I was to lick this, if my cat was going to walk on this, right? I want to really get the nitty-gritty here. You guys are helping me experience this for all of my other testing, my other demos. Okay, then you break it. Okay, and you squeeze. Oh, look. Okay. Okay, shake, shake, shake. Shake. Gotta put more of the liquid in there. Give me a good reading. And it's green. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. It's green, and we're gonna keep it here just to make sure, because I wanna make sure that it stays green, right? Okay, so then this is your chicken cloth, right? You just cleaned up your chicken, and you just literally wiped it like this flat, because it grabs when it's flat. Now, there's several things you can do, okay? You could fold it in half and keep cleaning on the other side. Or, according to the demo that I saw by this 10-year veteran who sells, I went personally with her on a training call, and I trained with her, and this is what she did. She literally rubbed it on herself. She says because it's a NORWEX, it's a NORWEX star-shaped cleaning cloth, it collects it. And she literally does this all the time with her toilet seat and the NORWEX cloth. However, I do not do that. I would probably go rinse it right now, but you can take it and fold it and use the other side, right? And keep cleaning. But you go under and you take hot water. So now it's stuck, right? It's collected the fiber. And anytime you use it, it will not release the bacteria. It collects it. Put it under hot water, very, very, very hot water. And it's not hot right now, so I'd have to let it run. But you put it under hot water. You rub it together. You squeeze it. You run it more. It releases, the star shape releases the bacteria. So I'm going to put it in there because now it's being released. I need to properly clean it. The hot water releases the bacteria and you flush it out. You then squeeze it out and hang it up, and the silver continues to clean it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my NORWEX cleaning cloth. I have here right here a hand towel cloth that you can use with your hands. I have a dish towel where you can dry dishes that also have the NORWEX cleaning products in. And I recently got the dishcloth as well. So it grabs the bacteria off, and then when you put it in the hot water, it releases it. My favorite though are these little hand towels. They're little paper towel substitutes. The paper towel substitute will collect the bacteria. All right, you can rinse it under hot water, squeeze it, hang it up to dry. Collects, hang it up to dry. And as a result, I do feel I will be doing away with my paper towels soon as well. Now, if you are going to use Clorox wipes, I want you to understand that it says right here that they are hazardous to humans and domestic animals. So don't use them around your animals. They say wash your hands with soap and water after handling. So they are considered toxic right here under the cautionary thing. But if I was going to disinfect and deodorize my chicken, I would have to, according to the instructions, wipe the surface, use enough wipes for treated surface to remain visibly wet for 4 minutes. It's right there. 4 minutes. Take a screenshot. 4 minutes. Let surface dry. Then if you do use in surfaces that come in contact with food, like my countertop, use a potable water rinse. It's required. A potable water rinse is required. So do not use this around food or animals because it is toxic. So I wanted to leave that with you all. If you would like to go ahead and buy a NORWEX kit, this is the one I recommend. It has a dust mitt, the window cloth, this Enviro cloth, and the paste, and it comes with your choice of a laundry detergent. And your laundry detergent is non-toxic as well. Do not wash these with cotton. I would recommend hand washing them or putting them in their own load. Do not wash them with cotton, fabric softeners, or dry them with laundry sheets. You want a very organic cleaning process for them. And that's just because they have the ability to collect. You do not want them trapping in nasty chemicals or pulling in the cotton industry. The cotton just would cling to it like a fabric lint. And so, yeah, I have some instructions here. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you would like how to use them. The dust mitt and the window cloth you use dry. The Enviro cloth you use damp. To clean windows, you use the wet Enviro cloth first, then polish with the window cloth. That's the purple one in the middle. And then once a week or bi-monthly, you wash in a separate load or by hand using a NORWEX detergent, and then dry separately in the dryer or in the air dry. And that is you cleaning without chemicals. And as you saw, it really does work. So Margaret says, I can't believe you did it. I know, I was so nervous all week because these are very expensive. Okay, so this right here, ladies and gentlemen, these right here were so expensive, so I didn't want to test them out. They're but here we have the purple and the green. All right, so just to confirm, one did go really purple and one stayed green. So this is the green one. Yeah. The lavender laundry detergent smells awesome. Thank you. Okay, perfect. I'm glad to know that because some are unscented and some are more flavor scented. So that sounds good. But yes, I just wanted to share that with you all. If any of you are interested, go ahead and check me out on my website, or you can go to norwex.com/violetflame. I will put that up on the screen for anyone watching the replay, and I am so grateful that you all bared with me and got to see the beautiful first demo. And if you're in the Northern Virginia area, I would love to do a demo for you in your home, and you can get some free products as well from that. All right. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading Wednesday, 8 p.m. for the global shift forecast. Okay. There we go. I can't believe you all stayed with me for that video. I edited it. It is the repeat of the one, but I did recently get another demo that I'm hoping to do. I have to test this one out. It's got germs, and it's the war between Lysol and NORWEX. So thank you so much for joining me here today, everyone. I appreciate it. A little bit different of a show, but we're going to get back to our Sunday show, which is more of a spiritual type. I'm not sure what we're doing yet, but we're going to go back into spiritual topics. Have a great evening. I will see you next time.